Eva was a speed demon. That's what everyone who knew her said. Parents, teachers, boyfriends, work, school, responsibilities small and large were all secondary to the eternal quest to go fast. Currently she was upset. Not a good mood to be in when piloting a standard single-seater Curzon small freight liner with speedy inter-system deliveries for impatient customers, peeling off the side of it. It was not a good mood to be in when exceeding the safe speed limit of any craft, let alone an under-maintained, out-of-date one like the one she was currently sculling at the front of. It was not a good mood to be in when entering restricted airspace of a frenemy species. Eva was a speed demon. Eva was not, however, good at reading maps. So here she was, music turned up to 11, trying to get her mind off her second rejection of the intergalactic time trials, as she hadn't had proper education. She was kicked out of university for missing lectures to sled down a mountain of the ice planet she was studying on. She was a human. Apparently human physiology couldn't handle the high Gs. Racist bullshit. And she did not have a trustworthy employment record for anyone to sponsor her. This was most frustrating, she thought. She still had the same delivery job after 3 months. Normally they sack her after 2 weeks. She improved any craft they gave her. She welded more engines to them. And they still called her a liability. Such bullshit. Oh well, she was ahead of schedule and there was a fun asteroid belt she could play in while still making it to the customer ahead of time. So she full throttled ahead, turned upside down and pulled the flight stick back, straight into the minefield. Sirens blared around the Talaxi border base. Incoming vessel. Pilots to craft. Launch squadrons 3, 4 and 5. Single vessel, probable explosive ram. Incoming vessel, the message repeated. The squadron leader on the flight deck just buckled the seat to his interceptor when the boosters launched him and the 2 other craft in his squadron towards the minefield they had run countless simulations practicing in. He could maneuver through it with his 4 eyes shut, but he wouldn't, because he was a professional, and this was the real deal. He signaled one squadron to go ahead and try to intercept further up the flight path. The others would get behind and gun the intruder from behind. No thinking, just feeling. He could do this, is what he trained for. He was sweating profusely. Eva was completely unaware of the diplomatic incident she was creating, or even that the asteroid she just nearly clipped could blow her back to the 23rd century. She was in her element, going faster and faster, getting as close as she could to an asteroid during a turn, imagining an announcer keeping track of her movements through the course, just neck and neck with her opponent, everyone cheering, Eva! 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 Vroom! She almost bit it on that corner, folks. I bet the sponsors are going to be kicking themselves they didn't sign her earlier. Her music was on shuffle, and she liked this current song that went wub 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 wub, missile log, wub 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 wub, incoming missile, guitar solo. She forced a burp out of her stomach just before opening the throttle, turning nose up, spinned in place, facing back where she came, and accelerated again. It must be a computer! The frantic chatter amongst the pilots was getting more and more desperate. No living thing could maneuver and think as quickly and expertly as what they were witnessing. Another missile had to be deactivated quickly before the enemy vessel flew into a turn so close to a mine that the missile would have detonated it. Sweat was pouring over the inside of the squadron leader's visor. He can't let them get away with this. He was a veteran of the contact war, survived the best any enemy threw at them. Keep pushing through. They are turning back now. It must have been a recon vessel. Don't let it escape. Another breakneck turn with one hand, as Eva patted the roof of her cockpit with the other, trying to stroke the oddly metallic asteroid. She had never felt more calm and at ease than in these moments. Drifting through rock, all alone, just her craft, and a full throttle. Righto, fun's over. Better get this crap planetside, before anyone notices I've gone. If she hadn't leant down to get another energy drink from under her seat, she would have seen a Thalaxi interceptor streak across her bow, appearing for a split second above and disappearing below the front of her cockpit. The pilot of which was barely holding on to control, trying to not become green mist at the impossible speeds being kept up during this very one-sided dogfight. Cruiser coming out of hyperspace in 3, 2, 1, mark! The closest vessel the Talaxi Navy had appeared on the human side of the minefield, trying to cut the enemy vessel off, but only just had enough time to catch what were clearly rude, angry and obscene gestures coming from the cockpit of a definitely manned, definitely piloted vessel, followed by the decals of a rosy-cheeked smiling-faced logo holding a box. "Stupid fucking idiots! Coming out of fucking nowhere like that! Could have crashed right into me!" Eva shouted for her windscreen into the massive vessel that she knew only existed to make her day worse, just like every fucking thing else in this universe right now. Beep, beep, beep. Ah, fuck. The safety sensors were set off from the sudden jolt she had to do in order to avoid the side of the cruiser. I liked this job. The recording of the last 30 minutes will be sent to HR and safety managers to review. They would see her entire escapade through the asteroids and deem her a liability, like all her previous delivery jobs. "We lost it, sir, but we got it on sensors. We have recordings. The humans can't deny this one." "Good. Make copies, send to our dignitaries. We won't let them get away with this." Her managers stared dumbfounded at the recording, when they turned to Eva, looking sheepishly at the floor. Their faces were pale white. They definitely couldn't keep her after what she pulled. Eva threw up and nearly fainted when they told her what she did. She didn't come out of her apartment for 3 days. More than anything, she was embarrassed by how she was in the complete wrong place again. She was never any good at reading maps, she knew that, but to have the entire system map upside down was a new one, even for her. When she finally left for more noodles and beer, there was a throng of reporters outside the front of her building, and life moved way too fast even for Eva. She was an iNet sensation. Everyone wanted to know who she was, what she was thinking, and how she could do what she did. It turns out one of her managers shared the video to a private message chat, and later it was sent to a racer forum and spread. Fast. It was only the next day, when it was on news, that Talaxi accused humans of sending a new super-fast surveillance operative to the border that it went viral. The 2 videos were corroborated and the Talaxi were humiliated. It was just a delivery driver that outmatched their best pilots. There were remixes and compilations of Eva belching, while Talaxi pilots screamed in panic. Smash cuts of Talaxi pilots being pushed to their limit, and Eva one-handed used the controls while scratching her face. She got a sponsorship in the end for time trials. Her old delivery company wanted to use her as their new mascot. She was the first human ultra speedway champion of the galaxy. She was never happier. They even named a border post with the Talaxi after her.